What's up, guys? Welcome to Rob's house. All right, so we had a little bit of a mishap. I took my car to get an alignment after I lowered it on the stock suspension in a video, a couple videos ago, and I took it to get realigned, make sure that everything was in spec. It was slightly out. I wanted to get the track alignment according to the manual. The manual says to run -2 degrees of camber all the way around. So that's how they aligned it. No problems with the alignment, but as they were taking my car off of the alignment machine, I'm not sure how they attempted to do it, but they did not give enough clearance because, as you can see, especially here, the splitter was destroyed in the process. So unfortunately, actually there's more damage here I didn't even notice. So unfortunately, I've been riding around for the last couple of weeks with my splitter cracked. It is carbon fiber. It is not fake carbon fiber. It is not hydro-dipped plastic. It is real carbon fiber. So as you can see here, that's the proof, real carbon, and that is not repairable. So hopefully there's not too much damage on the underside. Firestone made it right. They sent me a brand new splitter here, so we're gonna install that today to replace this old one. Stuff happens sometimes. People make mistakes, right? It's not the end of the world, and it gives us an excuse to do a video. I already got the car on jack stand so that I can A, get under the front, B, I can turn the wheels, because in order to get these winglets off, disconnected, so that we can remove the splitter, I have to actually be able to, there's some screws back there that I need to get to, so I'm gonna have to move the wheel on each side. Before anyone gets freaked out by this, yes, my back wheels, I have wheel chocks in there, so the car's not going anywhere. I have wheel chocks and the parking brake is on, so we should not have any rolling. And I have 2 jack stands in the appropriate places under the car, according to the manual. That's where they go. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, I grabbed my light real quick. The removal procedure is pretty simple, it looks like. Basically, if we get, actually it looks like they cracked this. Oh well. The removal procedure here is pretty simple. We just have a bunch of what looks like 7mm bolts, and around the side there's some Torx screws. It doesn't look too difficult to remove, although worth noting, this is just the plastic shroud. So I'll have to see if there are additional bolts holding the splitter on when I get this off. Basically, I just got to remove all of these. These are some 10 mils over here, some 7 mils right here in front of me, all along the front of the of this like splitter guard thing. So let's get this off, and then I will show you guys what is underneath. Also worth noting, the winglets on the side. In order to get these winglets off, there are some screws on the inside. I don't know if you can kind of see those screw holes, but I will give you a better look once I move the wheel, and actually I'm going to take those off. There's also underneath here these 2 screws that the winglets kind of slide into that. So I'm just going to loosen those screws, take the inner screws off, and basically what we should be able to do is slide the winglet up and out. The new splitter does actually have carbon fiber winglets, but they're smaller. They're not the full air dam style, so I think I'm going to reuse the ones that I have on here because it gives it just a really nice aggressive look. Anyway, let me get that bottom plate off and I'll come back and show you guys how to remove everything. All right, guys, I have a much better idea of what's going on now that I took this rub guard, I don't know what that thing is, but that piece of plastic off. Basically, we've got several, these are Allen screws, 7mm. There's like a whole assortment of different stuff under here holding this thing on. I will say, I don't know if you can see here on the sides, right here and right here, we have some, there you go. That's what's holding the winglets on. All right, guys, check it out. So this is actually an Anderson Composites carbon fiber splitter, but as you can see under here, it has the tabs for all those clips. We are gonna have to transfer those clips, that's not a problem. And then it has all the same mounting points, it looks like, compared to the OEM splitter. So this really should be an easy swap. I don't anticipate there being any issues here. One slight difference that I mentioned earlier in the video is it has these carbon fiber winglets on the side, which look so cool, but they're not as hot. These are carbon flash winglets on mine, but it gives you like a full air dam, and I want to keep those. You know, that's okay. And you know what? I can save them, and if these carbon flash ones end up getting chewed up, I can swap them out. No big deal, right? I'm actually, since I unwrapped this, I'm gonna put this inside so it doesn't get scratched or anything, and I'll come back and show you guys how to remove these winglets, then how to remove the splitter. We'll do the swap and we'll do the reinstall. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, we got one winglet off. It's super easy to take these out. There are the 2 screws that it kind of just slides into on the bottom, and then there's the 3 screws here that attach to the inside of the liner. You see these 2 screws where the winglet, like, there's some space here, right? So the winglet slides into that and then you clamp it down. These screws are attached to the side of the splitter, so I'm not gonna have to remove them to get the splitter off, but I will most likely have to transfer them over to the new splitter, because the new splitter has smaller screws that hold those smaller winglets on. So anyway, I am just gonna probably have to transfer these so that I can reuse my winglets, but that's not a big deal. So anyway, one winglet's off. I'm gonna take the other winglet off. I am not gonna waste your time with that. It is the exact same procedure. I just wanted to show you guys, now that I have a better view, that these are the inserts where it slides in, and then you kind of clamp it down with the screws. So anyway, that's all there is to those. You do want to make sure those are secure, because it is an aerodynamic piece. It's going to take quite a bit of wind. You want to make sure that it's nice and stable on there. All right, guys, so we got the old splitter off the car. It was straightforward. There was nothing else hidden there, except for maybe the fact that the order in which you take some of the bolts off matters, just because there's this plastic flap. You know, gotta get that out of the way, and some of the screws are obstructed by it. In particular, it's these kind of screws. So a number of the screws, there are some 7mm ones that actually thread into stuff, and then there are some other holes that are just held on by these Allen screws with this backing nut on them, and you can't get to some of them without loosening the rubber things, those rubber guards first. So we have this off. I have all of the clips that everything threads into for our plastic guard piece. I have them laid out in order over here, so I'll transfer those onto the new splitter. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the new splitter first, and then I'll transfer those clips, because some of them were kind of falling off, just because they're not very tight until you actually screw something into them, and the vibration from my mechanical socket was kind of making some of them fall off. So I think I'm just going to set those aside. I'll keep them in order, but I'll set them aside for now, and I'll put them on once the new splitter's on. So I'll come back when the new splitter's on the car. All right, guys, so we got the new splitter on. It fits great. Was pretty easy to install. Actually, the this is the Anderson Composites splitter. It actually had a couple of less holes toward the side. So specifically, these additional screws with the nut backs that were difficult to get out, I actually didn't have to reinstall these. It has a couple of these guys on the side, just like the OEM splitter. So we'll see. I mean, if it gives me any trouble, I can always drill some more holes in it and mount those locations, but I don't anticipate it being an issue. I'm gonna reinstall the winglets right now, and then we'll get this liner back on and we'll be done. This was super straightforward. It looks awesome. I'm really happy to have a fresh splitter on here. Really glad that you know, Firestone was cool and was more than willing to make it right. They didn't give me a hard time at all. They basically took it off the alignment machine and said, hey, we screwed up, you know. And I said, all right, well, I'm gonna need a new splitter because you can't repair carbon fiber. So, you know, and they were like, yeah, no worries, we'll order you one. I told them that I was okay. I had sent them the link actually to the Anderson Composites splitter. I told them I was fine using this particular aftermarket splitter because Anderson Composites is reputable. and it was half the price of the OEM one. So, you know, I wasn't trying to suck money out of them or anything. I just wanted a new splitter, and we're good now. So, and it looks awesome. It's, you know, real carbon fiber, obviously. Really happy with how it's turning out. So let's get the winglets on, and then we'll reinstall the rub guard. I don't know what you call this thing, and I'll show you the finished product. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're all done. We got the winglets on each side. It's looking pretty good. And we got the bottom piece installed. I don't know how you can see that under here, but anyway, that's all back together. This was successful. The car looks fantastic. Anyways, for any of you who are looking to upgrade your splitter, swap your splitter out because it got beat up, shout out to my friend Matt, who has unfortunately killed like 4 or 5 animals in the last month, and he had to get a new splitter. His splitter really took a beating. They all like jumped out in front of him. It was very, very odd coincidences, but he had to do his splitter. He has a C6, so this video probably wouldn't help him, but anyway, anyone who has a C7, if you're looking to upgrade your splitter, or if you're looking to replace your splitter, or even if you're just looking to change your winglets out or add winglets if you don't already have them, that's how you do it. If you have a front splitter that doesn't have holes in the side for the winglets, you will have to basically line your winglets that you bought up, make some marks with like a white marker or something, and drill holes. But anyway, the installation procedure is the same as what you see here. So anyway, as usual, I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.
So reach for the stars, 'cause we're aiming